Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Hi guys. I just thought I'd do that. I'm sorry if I sound like ass. I'm sick. Again. I'm thrilled. My ear is all fucked. I gotta get that looked at. Don't think it's infected, but it's definitely swollen beyond. It's just the entire situation is foobar. That was Frank Sinatra, by the way, if you didn't already know that. I don't hold the rights to any of that. I just thought I'd do it. Hopefully it sounded okay. I've done this song like 50 times otherwise, so I know that I can do it if it didn't sound that great. It's because I sound like ass even when I talk. This episode of the Lewis Sabin Video Podcast is brought to you by Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan Experience. Without Joe, I would have never thought about doing this podcast. He's a great inspiration. He is a hilarious man. He is currently a color commentator for the UFC. He also was the host of Fear Factor and is currently, of course, pursuing his career in stand-up comedy. You can see some of his stand-up comedy on Spotify. Well, you can listen to it. You can't see it. That would be awesome if you could see it. One of his specials was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's still up there. And that one you can see. Happy. And otherwise, you can listen to him on YouTube and iTunes. Also brought to you as a huge thank you to Science, the only energy drink I drink. 0 calories, 0 sugar, no crash, no jitters. The original great tasting 0 calorie energy drink. Real energy for real people. The unique formula that gives you the hashtag Power2. Today I am drinking the flavor is this Melon Mayhem. I found this out in the friggin' sticks of Michigan. For the most part, looking for a ghost town that we couldn't find. I've not been able to find this flavor for a while. It's really good. I am, of course, not sponsored by either of these companies, although if they'd wish to sponsor me, that would be freaking amazing. We do have one sponsor, however, and that is Fucks. Not given here, not given there, not given anywhere. Let's crack this baby open. Okay, let's do this. Today we're going to be discussing the NFL free agency, which is about to start. Where they attempt to sign free agents to get them to come to your team. Let's see, what was I going to say? About my appearance right now. The reason my hair looks wet is because I just got out of the shower. I wanted to clarify on that, so you're not like, why is his hair all greasy? It's not greasy, it's wet. It's drying currently. Some of it is dry, actually. I apologize if I start coughing all of a sudden. Like, uncontrollably. It's part of whatever this is. I will try to keep it down, but every once in a while it just comes out. Okay. So the leadoff free agency in the NFL, it's Sam Bradford. Quarterback, he was with the Rams, then he got traded to Philadelphia, and now he's going to be a free agent. And what was his salary? His 2015 cap hit was $12.985 million. You can click to see what his market value is on the site of mine, which I'll tell you near the end. So if you want to look this up yourself, you can. His market value is probably zero because he's not that good. Trying to think what team he would fit for. I'd probably put him as a third stringer in Dallas. Because it's not that he's a bad quarterback, it's that every team he's played for, he's had a terrible offensive line. And he doesn't have time to get passes off. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. He just needs an offensive line. So if Dallas is looking for a quality backup, Bradford wouldn't be a bad choice. Second on the list is another Ram. This one actually was with the Rams until just recently, and that's Chris Long, the defensive end. He's 30. His cap hit last year was $12.5 million. Not sure who takes him, to be honest with you. Chris has had a lot of injury issues. When he does play, he's a great player. He gets a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. However, he's injured all the time. He's like the Nick Fairley, which actually plays for the Rams, of their defensive line. We need another, we need you to sack the quarterback. Oh, I injured my foot again. Or whatever the fuck he kept injuring. I don't remember. But that's what it was with Fairley when he was here in Detroit. He would be injured all the time. And they'd be weird injuries. It wouldn't be like, I broke my finger. I need to be, I need to put a glove on or, cast or something on that finger to keep pressure off of it. No, it'd be like, there was one about his foot. He did something to his foot. I don't remember what it was. It was one of those where you read it and went, how the fuck did you do that? He, was it a pinched nerve? Something like that in my foot, and I can't play. Sometimes I thought it was an excuse. Sometimes it's like that could be a legitimate injury, like the pinched nerve thing. You could do that. It's possible that he hurt himself, but it's a weird injury to have on a football field. Okay. The next free agent is Eric Weddle. Eric Weddle is a free safety. He was with San Diego. His cap hit last year was $10.1 million. And I agree with all the critics. Everybody that said this, I agree. This is absolutely 100% where he should go. He should go to the opposite side of the coast and play for the Steelers. Steelers need a free safety. They lost Troy Polamalu last season. Their defense looked okay, but they didn't have a big free safety. And Eric Weddle is that guy. Physical. Loves to hit people. Good going to the ball. He fits your system. Take him. The next free agent, I don't believe is going to be a free agent for much longer, and that is Von Miller, outside linebacker for Denver. He's currently $9.7 million. $9.754 million. Yeah, I think he's staying in Denver. I don't see them not re-signing him. Leon Hall for Cincinnati, you'd probably let him go, just based on age. He's 31 years old. He's banged up. I think you just let him go. If somebody else wants to grab him, they can. But if I were a GM, as much as I like Leon Hall, he's a very good corner. I'd stay away from him just because. Let's say I look at it, I need a corner. I take Leon Hall. Now in my draft, when I'm sitting there in the draft, and I go, "Oh, I've got a corner. I don't need one." And then he hurts himself, and he's done for the year because he's old. Then I'm sitting there going, "Crap!" Now I'm in the same situation I was in last season, when I could have just said, "Screw it, let's not take the really old guy, and take one of these kids at 20 who can bounce back significantly quicker from an injury." Oh, all right. The next one I was incredibly surprised by. I'm still surprised that this name's on here, and that's Matt Forte, running back for Chicago. The Chicago Bears have said they don't want him, which I don't understand at all. I'd like to see Forte go to Detroit for multiple reasons. One, I live in Michigan. It'd be nice to finally have a really good running back. Two, gets to play Chicago twice a year. Three, I think it would just be good for his career. Come over here, man. We may not have the best offensive line, but we like to run the ball. A lot of people are going to say, "What do you mean you like to run the ball? You threw the ball out last season." That's what happens when you don't have an offensive line. You got to throw the ball. Elohi Naha is the next free agent. He's defensive tackle. He's Detroit, 32 years old. I'm not sure if we're going to re-sign him or not. I've read through a few blogs and a few reports that say both. One says go at Nada. The other one says we're keeping him. I'll be honest with you. If we don't take him, I'd be okay with it. If we don't re-sign him, that would be fine. He was great to have for a year, but I don't know how he fits in your scheme long term, and I don't know how much longer he really wants to realistically be in this league. The tap out age for a lot of these guys is 30. So once you get to 33, 32, 33, 34, you start thinking about, should I keep doing this? Of course, Nada's been pretty healthy. So, who knows? He might resign. Find that hard to believe. The next free agent's Antonio Gates. Tight end, he's 35. San Diego, 8.375-264. So, wow, he doesn't get paid shit. That sounds ridiculous. Yeah, you don't get paid shit. $8 million. $8,374,264. That was your cap hit. That's kind of low for a franchise tight end. Huh. Again, he's 35. I don't know what you do with him. You probably have a discussion with him. If you're San Diego, if he wants to stay, you absolutely resign him. He's a huge part of your offense. However, if he says, I'm thinking about retirement, go ahead and let him go. But I don't think it'd be right to let him retire not in a San Diego uniform. Next on the list is Eric Berry. He's 27, free safety out of Kansas City. His cap hit last year was $8,357,700. Eric Berry's getting re-signed. I guarantee it. You don't let somebody like that go. Tight end. He's 28 years old. His name is Jared Cook. He was also with now Los Angeles. Was the Rams. I'll just say the Rams. Was St. Louis. I apologize. Not was the Rams. They are the Rams still. His cap hit was $8,300,441. I'd like to see him go to Detroit. He's a really good tight end, good receiver, good hands. He's also got some decent blocking. Detroit would be a good landing spot. Green Bay would be a really good landing spot. Arizona would be a good spot. San Diego wouldn't be bad for him to go either, now that I think about it. So see, he's got places to go. Yeah. Jermon Bushrod, left tackle, 31 from Chicago. Don't know where he goes. That's the thing with offensive linemen. You never really know where they're going to go because everybody needs offensive linemen. So without being able to, look at the teams who are interested in him, I can't tell you where he's probably going to go. Next is Will Beatty, left tackle for the Giants. He'll probably stay. I see you re-signing him. Defensive end, Jason Pierre-Paul for the Giants. Probably try to re-sign him too. Next is Russell Okong, left tackle for Seattle. You re-sign him. Sean Smith, Kansas City cornerback. I don't know enough about Sean Smith. I don't watch Kansas City. My guess is, though, you probably try to reach some kind of contract with him. If you can't, you can't. If you can, awesome. Antonio Cromartie, the Jets. He'll probably either go back to Arizona or you never know. The Bills might grab him. The way I look at it is, the Jets let him go. Okay, well, if I play the Jets, that's one of my division rivals, and you just let go of a really good cornerback, that's a weapon I can use against you. So he also knows your defensive book. So, it wouldn't be bad to take him. Jahari Evans from New Orleans, 32. Again, can't tell you where he'll go. If I was a general manager, probably stay away from him. At 32, he's just more likely to get injured. Next on the list is Muhammad Wilkerson, defensive end for the Jets. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. I would if I were them. But they've got a defensive end they drafted that's really good. So I don't know what you'd do with Wilkerson. Then Quan Bolden is the next guy. He's 35 years old. He's from San Francisco. He's a receiver. If I'm San Francisco, I'd try to take him. I'd try to keep him. Yeah, really. I'm trying to think what other option I would have. Nothing's coming to mind. You try and keep him for as long as you can. He's really pretty much the only receiver you got left. Torrey Smith didn't do shit for you this year. The next guy is Prince Amukamara, corner for the Giants, 26. Again, if I'm the Giants, I'd probably try to re-sign him. If not, Raiders. I think the Raiders could take him. Andre Smith, right tackle, 29 out of Cincinnati. Yeah, I don't know where he'd go. Again, it's one of those things where offensive linemen's the hardest thing to say that they're going to go here because everybody needs them. Sorry, my ear's bugging me, so I'm trying to kind of monkey with it. Greg Tollier, corner, 31 years old in Indianapolis. I'll be back in a second. Hang on. Let me do something. about this. There. I have only bought myself like 5 minutes of being able to talk, but I'll take the 5 minutes. Indianapolis, Greg Tollier. I don't think Greg Tollier is that useful, personally. I mean, pretty sure. Oh, wait. Or am I thinking of the wrong guy? I think I'm thinking of the wrong guy. Never mind, I apologize. There was a guy that we got from Indianapolis, then we sent him back. We cut him, and they picked him right back up. That's not Greg Tollier, though. That was somebody else. Never mind. No. Indianapolis, you re-signed Greg Tollier. This one's upsetting to me. Detroit announced it 2 days ago. 3 days ago. Stephen Tulloch, inside linebacker, 31 from Detroit, to be a free agent. That's just upsetting. I'm a big fan of Stephen Tulloch. I liked him. He's a good guy. He's probably going to end up, again, if I'm Chicago, I take him. If I'm Green Bay, I take him. Brendan Meebin's the next guy, defensive tackle, 31 from Seattle. Seattle probably resigns him, or I could see him going to Cincinnati. Maybe they could use another defensive tackle. The Vikings don't need another defensive tackle, but I could see them getting him. Yeah. Oh, speaking of the Vikings, next is Chad Greenaway, outside linebacker, 33 for the Vikings. I don't know if you resign him, to be honest with you, just because he's 33. It's one of those where, again, you got to discuss things with him. But if they do resign him, good. Otherwise, I could see him going to the Rams. Donald Penn, left tackle, Oakland, 32. I don't know where he'll go. William Moore, strong safety, 30, Atlanta. Atlanta could re-sign him, of course. That's always going to be an option. You can re-sign. Or I could see him going... I could see him going to Tampa Bay. Gerard Powers, corner, 28 from Arizona. If they don't resign him, the Dolphins could take him. Miami could use him. Derek Johnson, inside linebacker, Kansas City. Don't know what you do about that. I think you re-sign Derek Johnson. This has been a conversation that's been going on because one of the other guys on here, in fact, he's 2 names down, is Tamba Ali, who's their outside linebacker at 32. And you got to pick which one of those are going to resign because you don't have enough money to sign both of them. And I agree with what some people have said. And you re-sign Derek Johnson, you let Tamba Ali go. Then where does Tamba Ali go? And I think Tamba Ali could either go to the Chargers, or he could go to what other team do they talk about? He can go to Arizona. Either of those teams would be a beautiful fit for him. That would work. But you got to pick which one of those you re-sign. If they re-sign Tamba Ali and let Derek Johnson go, Derek Johnson, again, he might be able to go to Arizona. Maybe Green Bay. Other than that, I really don't know off the top of my head. Patriots have a good inside linebacker. They don't need him. Well, the Patriots could take him, but again, I don't know how you would. You got a guy already. The Jets could take him. Either of them, actually. They run the 4. Bills, I'm pretty sure, run the 4. Tampa Bay runs the 4. Miami runs the 4. We run 4. 4. Packers run a 3. Sorry, I'm trying to think who runs a 3-4 defense. Green Bay, Kansas City. You can go to the Texans. They always need defensive players. Either of them. Morris Claiborne, 26, Dallas is the next guy. He's a corner. My guess is Dallas tries to re-sign him because that's a huge part of their defense. If they don't, Miami would be a good spot for Morris to go. Kansas City, maybe. The thing about Morris Claiborne is let me see, what did I say his age is? 26? 26 years old. You can go anywhere. You're still pretty young. You're talented. You can go anywhere you want. The next guy is Chase Daniels, quarterback. 29 years old, out of Kansas City. The rumor is he's going to Philadelphia. But if I was Kansas City, I wouldn't re-sign him. There's a couple quarterback prospects that are in the draft that are much more enticing, and I'd just go after them. Reggie Nelson, free safety, Cincinnati. If I'm Cincinnati, I resign him. Absolutely. You need a free safety. If you don't resign him, you can go after Killebrew. Get Killebrew and put him at free safety. That makes sense. I could see that. Otherwise, Reggie Nelson, Oakland, Arizona might grab him just because Honey Badger's been hurt for the 2nd year in a row, and you might want somebody with veteran leadership in the backfield. Other than that, I'm not real sure. Nick Fairley. Hey, look at that. Who was it just talking about? Nick Fairley. 28 was with the Rams. You probably let him go. And then I don't see him getting signed really by anybody. He doesn't do a lot. He's overweight, like significantly. That was part of the reason why I didn't let him go. He doesn't work out in the workroom. He doesn't really care if he gets sacks. Doesn't tackle very well. So yeah, I think you let him go. And then I wouldn't sign him if I was a GM with anybody. Even if you desperately needed a tackle. Wait to the draft. Or look for another free agent. Malcolm Floyd, he retired. Sammy Lee Hill, defensive tackle, 29 from Tennessee. If I was Tennessee, I'd let him go. And then if I was like Miami, let me think here off the top of my head. Yeah, Miami, Washington, or maybe even Oakland. You get him as like a backup. Will Hayes, defensive end, 30 in the Rams. You let him go for the Rams. And he probably goes to Tennessee. I could see him going to Tennessee. Paul Salai. Sorry, his name's hard to pronounce. His last name. Paul Salai, defensive tackle, 32, Atlanta. I let him go if I'm Atlanta. And again, at 32, he's a different animal. He can go anywhere. Don't know who picks him up. James Laurinaitis, inside linebacker, LA. He's 29. If I'm trying to think who's in their division. Look. We'll ask Google. What division is in the NFC West? David, who is that? The Niners, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Okay, so if I'm... Well, the Cardinals don't really need anybody. I mean, if they got him, that'd be useful, but they don't really need him. Seahawks, no. Niners. Yeah, if I'm the Niners, I go get him. I'm going to take James Laurinaitis. Gives you a little edge over your division rival. And he's a solid inside linebacker, so... Yeah, why not? Mike Neal, outside linebacker, Green Bay. I hear they're re-signing him. Charles Woodson, retired. John Beeson, retired. Phil Dawson, kicker, 41, San Francisco. San Francisco re-signs him if he stays. David Hawthorne, inside linebacker, 30, New Orleans. You re-sign him. Percy Harvin. This is an interesting case. Percy Harvin, wide receiver, 27 from Buffalo. Do you re-sign him with Buffalo? Personally, I say, yep, you re-sign him. He's a good weapon to have on your team, even if you don't really use him. Because you still have that threat in the back of your mind when you show up to play the Bills. Are they going to use Percy Harvin today? And you can use him in multiple sets. He can do kick return, you can throw to him, you can run him around the backfield, you can run him from sideline to sideline. So, yeah, I re-sign him, but you don't re-sign him for a lot. You re-sign him for... I think, how many years would he want? Probably like 3. 3 years at 2.5 a year, 2.5 million a year. It's a decent contract because he doesn't do a lot. What I mean is, as a on the team, you don't hear his name called a lot when you watch Buffalo. I mean, you do hear his name called, just not a lot. And he's 27 years old, so yeah, I don't know. If I'm Buffalo, I try to resign him. Otherwise, I'd laugh, but you never know. You might see him go back to Minnesota, which would be interesting. The Bears could use him. They could use another receiver. Washington, the Redskins could take him. The Raiders, because that's where most players go to die, contract-wise. He can go quite a few places, actually. He's still got some talent. Terrence Knighton, defensive tackle, 29, out of Washington. If I could read. Although that wouldn't be a bad landing spot for him, now that I think about it. Send him up to Green Bay. I can see that. Jason Jones, defensive end, Detroit resigns him. At least I think you should. Resign him for a year. Give him 1-year contract for dirt money, if he'll take it, and draft the guy. Let him sit under Jason for a year and learn the ins and outs. Drew Stanton, quarterback, 31, out of Arizona. I see Arizona probably letting him go. And he'd probably go to Miami. Tampa Bay's got Mike Glennon, so no. Oakland. LA, maybe. I'm thinking where he could go as a backup. I don't think he's going to start. The Colts. Stuff like that. Mercedes Lewis, 31, Jacksonville. Jacksonville probably tries to re-sign him. I think he'll stay in Jacksonville. Inside linebacker Sean Witherspoon, he's 28, out of Arizona. Arizona resigns him, he stays. You don't really want somebody like that. Henry Melton, 29, Tampa Bay. Again, probably goes to Washington, Seattle, if they do let go of their tackle. And Mebane, get Henry Melton for like a year or two. Alex Boone, 28, San Francisco. San Francisco resigns him. Mason Crosby, kicker, 31, for Green Bay. Green Bay resigns him. Joique Bell was released. Mike Tolber for Carolina. I don't know what Carolina's going to do. Again, another one of those. I've heard both. I've heard keep him and I've heard let him go. If I'm Carolina, I try to keep him. If not, a good landing spot for him would be virtually anywhere. But I don't know if I'd stay at fullback. If you go to like a passing team, I think you'd want to make the switch to running back. If you go to a running team like Carolina, you can stay at fullback and not worry about it because you're probably going to still get some carries. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 33, out of the Jets. If I'm the Jets, I resign Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I never thought I would ever say that, ever. Yeah, you resign him and you keep him as your starter. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yep. Kid out of fucking Harvard. He's actually a really good player all of a sudden. And I don't know if it's the team he's with or if the game has just finally slowed down for him and he's figured it out. But I think the Jets, you re-sign him. And then you do this thing called put any and all offensive linemen you have and draft more of them around him so you can protect him. Because you guys could go quite a ways if he plays like he did last year. Holy shit. Next is Walter Thurman, free safety for Philadelphia. Listen, Philadelphia, if I were you, I'd just fire everybody on your team, including all your coaches, which you pretty much already did. And then I would move your franchise to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and die. Because you're never going to win a Super Bowl and your team sucks. But I would re-sign Walter Thurman. Jermaine Gresham, let him go. Arizona, you can get a better tight end. Inside linebacker, Vincent Ray for Cincinnati. That's another quandary. You re-sign him, you get a veteran guy who's pretty good inside. You let him go, you got to try and draft a guy. Or pick up a guy in free agency. Or you're not 100% sure what you're going to get. So I personally would keep Vincent Ray. If not, place for him to land. Actually, the Rams wouldn't be a bad spot for him to go. Next on the list is Greg Hardy. I hope he dies. Like, honest to God, if he got run over by a truck, I'd be happy. No one cares. Not going to talk about him. Alden Smith, outside linebacker from Oakland. He's staying with Oakland. He signed a contract with them. I think. Let me look. I'm pretty sure he signed a contract. Alden Smith. Oh, did they suspend him? They suspended him for 1 year. Wow. Yeah, I thought he signed a contract. No, I knew that already. I thought he signed another one. Maybe he didn't. I thought Alden Smith signed another contract with him. Okay, so let's say you let him go. It really doesn't matter. He can't play anyway. He's suspended. I think he signed him to like a 3-year contract, 4-year contract, because one of those years he's not going to be able to play. That's a lot of people call that dead money. Oh, well, he can't play, so it's dead money. Well, when he comes back, he's a good player. You want to keep somebody like that on your team. Alan Ball, Chicago, let him go. Look, Alan Ball, he probably goes back to Jacksonville. Matt Hasselbeck at 40, Indianapolis. Look. Matt Hasselbeck, if I could fucking read. Matt Hasselbeck at quarterback, honest to God, could start. You could start him right now, and he could probably take you to minimum the playoffs. That's fucking sad. Andrew Luck can't get you to the playoffs, but 40-year-old Matt Hasselbeck can. If I'm Denver, I sign Matt Hasselbeck. You know why? Because you sign people who have one foot in the grave. That's what you've done so far with Peyton. And you know what? It worked. So you take Matt Hasselbeck and you go, have fun. Because at the moment, it sounds like you're not getting Osweiler. Manuel Ramirez, guard for Detroit. 33. Yeah. I don't remember him playing. I know how we got him. He was in the trade to move down. So Detroit could get Tomlin and Ramirez and a third-round pick. Was it a third rounder? I think we moved first rounders, third rounder, or something like that, and Ramirez. And we gave them our first round pick. You guys got Shane Ray, and we got Laken Tomlinson. Manuel Ramirez, fine. Keep him. We need offensive linemen to see what he does. Randy Starks, defensive end, Cleveland. Well, that's where he went. Listen, Cleveland, you need defensive players, so I keep him. Evan Mathis in Denver. Denver, you re-sign him. Nolan Carroll, Philadelphia. Let him go. Bruce Irvin, outside linebacker, Seattle. If I'm Seattle, I re-sign him. Kid's been good for you. Jeff Schwartz, the Giants, I'd re-sign him. Mackenzie Bernadou, Dallas, don't care. I'm kidding. I'll tell you what. You let him go. Steve McClendon, defensive tackle for Pittsburgh, let him go. Chris Chester, guard for Atlanta, let him go. Adam Vinatieri, you re-sign him if he wants to stay. Chris Ivory for the Jets, re-sign him. Rolando McClain, re-sign him. He's inside linebacker for Dallas. Shea McClendon, inside linebacker for Chicago, re-sign him. Mike DeVito, defensive end, Kansas City, re-sign him. Matt Moore, quarterback for Miami, let him go. Al Woods, defensive tackle for Tennessee, keep him. Atube Ruben, defensive tackle for Seattle, keep him. Sean Richardson, strong safety for Green Bay, keep him. He's 26. Adam Douchebag Jones, Cincinnati, probably keep him. They'll probably keep him. I wouldn't, but you probably will. Cam Thomas, defensive end for Pittsburgh, keep him. He's 29. Stefan Wisniewski for Jacksonville. Yep, you keep him. He's 26. Keep him. Vernon Davis, 32 for Denver. I personally would keep him. But I don't know what Denver thinks of tight ends. And you got to remember they're going to get Mike Hurman back. They get Mike Hurman back. I'm trying to think what else they have to tight end. Look, I don't know. You see, it's okay, children, to say, I don't know. You know, they tell you in school if that's not an acceptable answer. Let me tell you, in the real world, that's a very acceptable answer. I don't know. Vernon Davis. I knew that already. Virgil Green. Okay. Still scrolling. That's it. Holy shit. You have 2 guys. That's just odd. Normally you have at least 3. I know of one. Yeah, Jeff Heuerman. He's injured. He tore his ACL. He's a rookie. Oh, you guys had Tyson Brawley? I didn't know that either. David Burton. All right, you guys got Dylan Day too. I have no idea what they have as their roster, so I'm looking through it for a minute. All right, they have currently three tight ends. So yeah, I keep Vernon Davis. I resign him. If I'm Denver, I resign him. Not only because I like him, but also because you've only got 3 tight ends. And Virgil Green, I'm not saying he's a bad tight end, but when you compare him to Jeff Heuerman and Vernon Davis, yeah, sorry. So yeah, I keep him. Terrence Newman with Minnesota, I let him go. I think he should retire. He's 37 years old. Robert Ayers for the Giants, you resign him. Ted Larson for Arizona, resign him. Reggie Bush with the Niners, let him go. He's not going to do you any good. Ryan Wendell, center for New England, you probably let him go. Eugene Sims, defensive end for Los Angeles. You probably sign him for a year. He's 29. Sign him for a year. Nick Perry, outside linebacker, Green Bay. Re-sign him. Mark Barron. Ooh, damn. They moved him really far. Outside linebacker, Mark Barron. He was a safety. 26, Los Angeles. You re-sign him. I'd probably move him back to safety, personally. Inside linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. He plays for Indianapolis. Go ahead and re-sign him. He's good. Oakland Rod Streeter. Drop him. Deshaun Gibson, Cleveland. Re-signed him. Cedric Thornton, Philadelphia. Re-signed him. Rodney McLeod, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. 25 for free safety for Los Angeles. Drop him. Justin Tucker, If Baltimore doesn't resign Justin Tucker, then that means that your general manager has been hit over the head with a very heavy object, and that he should probably be checked for a concussion. You resign Justin Tucker. Let me think here. What's the most? I think you're offering the most 6 years. So you offer him 12 years at $30 million a year. I'm kidding. No, you offer him probably like a 7-year contract. 7 years at, what's his current cap hit? 235. Well, 236 technically because you round up. Anyway, yeah, I'd resign Justin Tucker to like a 7-year contract, $3 million a year. He's that good, and he's got a hell of a singing voice, which I didn't know until just recently. Damon Harrison, defensive tackle, 27, New Jersey. You let him go because, and this comes back to the Muhammad Wilkerson thing. I don't know what they're going to do with Big Cat. Are they going to leave him at defensive end, or are they going to move him to tackle? Because when he was at USC, he was both. He was a defensive end and a defensive tackle. He played both. He could play inside or outside. So I don't know if you just get rid of Damon Harrison and then re-sign Muhammad Wilkerson and put Big Cat at defensive tackle, or do you re-sign Damon Harrison, get rid of Muhammad Wilkerson, and put Big Cat where Muhammad Wilkerson is? I personally would keep Muhammad Wilkerson. I think he's a better defensive end. And then I'd put Big Cat where Damon Harrison is, and I'd go with Damon Harrison. Leonard Floyd, I think is his name. Let me double check that. Oh, no, never mind. That's a guy from Georgia. See, I read so much that I don't remember who the hell is who. I know his first name is Leonard. We'll try that one. Nope, that's him. Sorry. Leonard Williams. I read too many names. I don't remember who's who. I remembered his nickname. See? That stuck with me. Craig Robinson, inside linebacker, Cleveland. Cleveland, again. You have a defensive player. You know what you got in him. Keep him. Jermaine Kirsch with Seattle. I let go of Jermaine Kirsch. Derek Shelby, Miami. Go ahead and keep him. Manuel Lamore for Cincinnati. Keep him. Louis Delmas with Miami. Please let him go. I'd love to see you let him go. And I would love to see Detroit re-sign him. However, that probably won't happen. Because, see, that's where we live in Shoodland. Oh, Shoodland. How does they put it, American Dad? Oh, Shoodland. Where kids go down Shoodland Boulevard and get their asses kicked every year by their cross-town rivals. Reality check. That was an American Dad reference, by the way. I don't remember what episode that's in. Shoodland. But yeah, in Shoodland, Louis Delmas still plays for Detroit. No, he probably gets re-signed by Miami. Miami'd be kind of dumb to let him go. Jeremy Mincy, Baltimore. Or not Baltimore, sorry. Dallas. Thought that sounded weird. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he plays for Dallas. He does. Help if I could fucking read English, wouldn't it? Part of it is that I see the to be determined where it says, which is annoying. And then I look down and then look back up at the camera, and my brain puts the TBD next to Dallas, and it looks like Baltimore. Do you re-sign Jeremy Mincy? I don't. They probably will, but I don't. Calvin Pace, you let him go. 35, New Jersey. Justin Durant, inside linebacker, Atlanta. Yeah, you re-sign him. Doug Martin with Tampa Bay. They claim they're not going to re-sign him. I think that's stupid. And if I am any team in the NFL and I go, I might need a running back, I sign Doug Martin. my brain immediately goes to this team that just lost their running back. They wear that blue helmet with a little bird on it. The guy they lost, he retired, used to grab his balls. He grabbed his balls once as he jumped into the end zone. Now, if I can only remember what that team's called. They got a cool name for their defense, Legion of something. Seattle. I know who I'm talking about. Okay, Seattle. I was referring to Marshawn Lynch. He retired. Or so I read. Doug Martin, you re-sign him. Or, sorry, Tampa Bay said you let him go. Seattle, sign him. I have a soft spot for Seattle. The reason why, and everyone goes, it's because they won the Super Bowl. No, it's because they had a player I liked. And then when he left, cough, cough, he's right now with Indianapolis. Then they got another player that I respected a lot, and he played for them for 3 years, 2-3 years. And then he left, and I just always kind of had a soft spot for them after that. And that would be Matt Hasselbeck, the first one. And the second one was Terrell Owens. A lot of people don't know that. Terrell Owens played for Seattle. Raymond Foster, guard, Pittsburgh. Yeah, you keep him. Probably look for a replacement guy in the draft, but you keep him. Rashard Johnson, Arizona. Let him go. Logan Paulson. Do you resign Logan Paulson? I wonder. Yeah. Joe Barksdale, San Diego. Yeah, you resign him. Defensive end, Jenkins Collins. No. Giants, you let him go. Shane Leckler. Yeah, you keep him. Punter for Houston. Adrian Claiborne. I have a soft spot for Adrian Claiborne. I think he's a hell of a player. He plays for Atlanta right now. Defensive end 27. I'd resign him. Wallace Gilbury, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. Cincinnati. I let him go. Lyle Sendline. I always fuck up his name. Arizona. You keep him. Antonio Smith, defensive end Denver. Let him go. Bryce McCain, quarterback Miami. You let him go. James Ahedebo, you re-sign him. Bilal Powell, sorry, I always fuck up his name too. Bilal Powell. You let him go. He plays for the Jets. Patrick Robinson with San Diego, you keep him. Matt Shaw, Baltimore, you keep him. Terrell Brown, cut him. Kelvin Smith, inside linebacker for Miami, you keep him. Rafael Bush, free safety for New Orleans, you keep him. Jericho Crotchery for Carolina, you keep him. His name is Cotchery, but I don't like that name. I prefer to call him Crotchery. Jerry Bierman, Corey Bierman, sorry if I could fucking read English. Again, that's a combination of the guy above him, Jericho Crotchery, and Croy Bierman. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Defensive end Atlanta. Yeah, you probably keep him. He's been there for forever, so might as well just keep him. Benjamin Watson with New Orleans. Yeah, you re-sign him. Jim Dre, tight end for Cleveland. You go ahead and cut him. James Starks, running back for Green Bay. You keep him. Bruce Gradkowski for Pittsburgh, quarterback. Cut him. Colin Clements, quarterback for San Diego. You cut him. Roman Harper, strong safety for Carolina. You can keep him if you want to. Matt Castle, quarterback. You cut him. I'll tell you who he plays for. He plays for Dallas. Cleve Barnes, left tackle for Oakland. Go ahead and keep it if you want. Andrew Corliss, you cut him for Green Bay. Tyron Walker, defensive tackle, Detroit. I keep him, but that's because I want to know what he does. Didn't see a lot of him this year. B.J. Raji, Green Bay, re-sign him. Dwayne Allen, 25, tight end for Indianapolis, keep him. Josh Robinson, corner for Minnesota, keep him. Brian Quick, Los Angeles receiver, cut him. Jermaine Johnson, corner, LA, cut him. Oliver Vernon, defensive end, 25 for Miami, keep him. Kobe Fleener, 27, Indianapolis, tight end, keep him. Brandon Brooks, guard, Houston, keep him. Inside linebacker, Denario Davis for the Jets, you probably try to keep him. Courtney Upshaw for Baltimore. If I'm Baltimore, I try to resign Courtney Upshaw. If not, I'd probably send him. If I was the Patriots, then I'd sign him. Mohamed Sanu from Cincinnati. Again, that's another one where Cincinnati probably won't resign him, but they should. Will Gay, Pittsburgh, resign him. Lamar Miller, running back, Miami, resign him. Ben Jones, cornerback for Houston, or cornerback, center for Houston, keep him. Nigel Brodham from Buffalo, keep him. Cody Sensabaugh, keep him. David Burton, Denver. That's one of those where you discuss things with David Burton. David Burton's a decent safety, but you've already got that really dirty player. I don't remember his name at safety. Michael Schwartz, Cleveland, definitely keep him. Jared Crick, Houston. Yeah, you think about it. Andre Branch, Jacksonville. Keep him. Red Ellison, tight end, 27, Miami, Minnesota. Yeah, you probably keep him. Malik Jackson, defensive end, Denver. Yeah, you keep him. Robert Blanton from Minnesota, keep him. Josh Norman, you obviously resign him. Troutman, which makes me think of Rambo. You resign him. Janoris Jenkins resigned. Georgie Loca, probably let him go. Alfred Morris, I've heard they're going to let him go, which I think is stupid. Trevathan, you keep. McBride, you cut. He's a corner for the Giants. Kelvin Beachum, left tackle for Pittsburgh. Keep him. Andre Caldwell, wide receiver for Denver. You cut him. Cordy Glenn, left tackle for Buffalo. You keep him. Antonio Allen, corner for the Jets. You keep him. Larry Asante, safety for Oakland. Keep him. I'm going to stop going through this here in a minute. Johnson Benamose. Oh, they moved him from from safety to corner. Okay, that makes sense. To Cleveland. You keep him. Holy sweet mother of God, this list never ends. Yeah, if you want the whole list, you want to read through the whole list, sweet mother of God. I'm holding this arrow down, and I'm not even halfway through it yet. Here we go. We just passed halfway. I'm still holding it down. Still not done. And we're there. Sweet mother of God. Hey, Kyle Brinza's on this list. Yeah, you resign him. If you don't, I'll fucking kill you. Braxton Cave for Detroit. Keep him. I love that. Now I'm going to start going the other way. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, if you want to read the whole list, this is... What's the name of this site? Hang on. I'm going to make this a lot easier by just grabbing a hold of the little thingy. That's not a reference to my penis. And going to the top of the page. This is on SpotTrack. SpotTrack. The actual web address is www.spotrac.com/NFL/free-agents/. But yeah, that's that. I don't feel like going through this anymore. No! God damn it! McGregor sweepstakes. Sorry, I went to Sherdog to go over the upcoming fight for this weekend, and Roy Anjos broke his foot. He's out. McGregor sweepstakes. Aldo, Edgar, and Nurmagomedov ruled out for UFC 196. Oh, that pisses me off. Damn it. I really wanted to see him whoop Roy Anjos' ass. All right, this weekend, the 27th of February, in the O2 Arena in London. Yeah, you know where that is. I'm not going to read the rest of it. The main event, Anderson Silva against Michael Bisping. It's on Fight Pass. Timu Paklakin against, Jesus H. Christ, Tybalt Gowdy. Martin Svensson against David Timur. Arnold Allen against Yotsin Meza. Davey Grant against Marlon Vera. That should be a decent fight. Francisco Rivera against Brad One Punch Pickett. Makwan Amikarahani against Mike Wilkerson. Scott Ashgrim against Chris Dempsey. Georges Danho against Daniel Amalechik. Tom Breeze against Kiti Nakamura. Hustam Habilov against Storm Norman Park. Gegard Mousasi against Dar Lietz. It's either Lights or Lietz. One of the two. Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping. I hope Anderson Silva knocks Bisping out in the second round. I don't have Michael surviving past 3. But yeah. I'll keep you guys updated on the Facebook page as to who ends up fighting McGregor. I have to figure that out. But yeah. That's upsetting. Truly, truly upsetting. Alright, this episode of the Lewis Sabin Video Podcast and all episodes are brought to you as a huge thank you to Joe Rogan, to the JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience Podcast. It's available on iTunes and YouTube. Also brought to you as a huge thank you to Zions, the only energy drink I drink. 0 calories, 0 sugar, no crash, no jitters. The unique. You think I'd have this thing memorized by now. The original great tasting 0 calorie energy drink. The real energy for real people. The unique formula that gives you the hashtag power to. I'm drinking. What's it called again? I'm bad with names, okay? Melon Mayhem. I wanted to make sure I got it right. Oops, something Mayhem. It's delicious. All of them are delicious. Sorry for all the movement. I'm moving my legs. Also brought to you, as always, by Fucks. Not given here, not given there, not given anywhere. Yeah, that's it. Not sponsored by any of those companies with the exception of the Fucks one, because obviously I'm sponsored by Fucks. You guys have yourselves a lovely day, evening, afternoon, whenever the fuck you watch this. Bye.